Afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our Career Connection webinar. My name is Neverly, and I'll be your host for today. We're very excited to present Tech Up free certifications for career growth. A recording along with the presentation made will be available to everyone today who registered for today's session. Now, because it is a webinar, all lines are muted, but you can ask your questions using the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. As we move through the presentation, feel free to type any questions you may have in the Q&A box. We'll reserve the last 10 minutes at the end of the session to answer any of those questions. Our guest speaker for today is Daish Begley, Executive Director, State College, Florida Advanced Technology Center. Then we'll move through to our Q&A. After our Q&A, if everyone could stay for an additional minute to complete a brief survey that will pop on their screen, we would greatly appreciate it. Feedback provided is important as we use these surveys to help us with our further webinars and programming. Before I turn it over, I do want to take a few minutes to talk about the Women's Resource Center. The Women's Resource Center has been empowering women in Manatee and Sarasota counties since 1979. We have 3 centers across both counties, one in Bradenton, one in Sarasota, and another in Venice. We serve over 9,000 clients yearly and deliver over 7,000 hours of programming. Our goals at the Women's Resource Center is to engage, educate, enrich, and empower women of all generations. And we are a place women can call when they're not really sure where to turn to. To do this, we offer our clients resource advising, mental health counseling, career services, educational workshops, programs, and scholarships, as well as legal and financial consultation, all of which are offered at little or no cost to our clients. Since this webinar is about careers, I'll take a little more to talk about our career services. Our career coaching program offers individual assistance preparing for successful job search. This includes career discovery, resume preparation, interviewing skills, networking techniques, and so much more. Our digital navigating program offers one-on-one computer tutoring, including help with computer basics, Microsoft applications, help with navigating online job sites, as well as uploading resumes. In addition, we do have 3 career closets, one in each of our locations, offering free clothing and accessories to women in need, who either have attended a job interview or who have secured a job and are in need of work attire. Our career closets also serve women who are in need of clothing for any reason. So again, we do want to hear from you. So please feel free to use your Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen. And as a reminder, our career connections are recorded, so you can rewatch them just in case you missed any information. We'll also send a replay via email within about 48 hours to everyone who registered, including any materials covered by our presenter for today. As I mentioned, at the end of the webinar, you will see a survey on your screen. We ask you please complete the survey so we can better understand how we can improve. Thank you so much for attending today's Career Connection, and I'll turn it over to Daish.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Thank you so much for hosting me today. All right, can everybody see my first screen? Looking good. All right, awesome. Hi, y'all. My name is Daish Begley. I am at State College of Florida. I've been here since January of 2021, and I'm excited to say, for those of you that may have thought of me as the Coding Academy, yes, I am still the Coding Academy, but the Coding Academy has expanded into the Advanced Technology Center. So if you haven't heard of the State College of Florida's Advanced Technology Center, well, just know that it's the Coding Academy. It's also Educator Professional Development Institute. It is our youth innovations programs that we have for K through 12 youth. And we are also making an amazing emerging technology lab called the Fab Lab that we hope everybody will come and take a look at here at SCF Bradenton. Our webinar today is such a fantastic opportunity for so many of us in the audience. Industry certifications for career acceleration and working in conjunction with the Women's Resource Center, you could not ask for anything better. We have, today, we're going to talk about the fact that we know that there are jobs out there that require some technical skills. There are jobs that are purely in the IT field, right? So those are jobs that we know you want to have some type of IT background to get those jobs. But the good news is, you guys, there are also jobs that that just have a touch of technology in them. There are so many jobs where if you just have a bit of background or a few skills, then you can get those jobs and apply your skills to those jobs and make just a little bit more money. Our introduction, before I get started with that, with who I am and how I got here, right now, I want you guys to start, and I keep saying you guys, Advanced Technology Center is for everybody, right? We're going to focus on women today, but just know what we're going to share is for everyone. Right now, I want you to start thinking about your skills and your interests. Those are the two things that when you put them together, they are the key to an information technology career pathway. What are you good at? And what do you love to do? So you might say, well, Daisha, I love to travel. Excellent. Are you good at managing? Are you good at implementing? Are you good at coordinating? Are you the person who wants to handle the data on the back end? Or do you want to handle the fun activities on the front end of travel? What are you good at? Because as we talk about the various careers that are available and how we think industry certifications are an accelerator for those various types of careers, you're going to start to think to yourself, well, where do I see myself fitting in? So introduction first, I'll tell you who I am and some of the persistence I've had to have in this career. We're going to talk about IT careers and you. Then we're going to show you some success stories of industry certification completers, people who started with us and now they are actually incorporating the industry certifications into their everyday lives. We do have scholarships available. I think that's the number one thing that would have brought me to this webinar had I known. Scholarships are the key because that makes everything affordable. And so we're going to discuss accessibility, affordability, and achievability for our State College of Florida Advanced Technology Center programs. And then I'll stop sharing my screen with this PowerPoint, and I'm actually going to dive into the actual website. So I'll show you how to navigate our website to get to where you want to go. My name is Daisha, and I believe in myself. And I want you to believe in yourself as well. If someone had told me, I don't know, literally 5-6 years ago that I would be the executive director of the SCF Advanced Technology Center, I would say, how, when, how could that be? I started, I worked on my degree for a number of years. I worked on my AA degree. I worked on my bachelor's degree. I had a kid, took classes, had a kid, took some classes. I was a stay-at-home mom. At least for the first 10 years of my marriage, I was a stay-at-home mom. And then I didn't really know the skills that I have, the passion I have for education, and the love that I have for technology. But no, thank you. I don't want to be a teacher. I didn't know how those skills would transform into a role that I would love and adore. But I did believe in myself. And I knew that if I kept going, if I kept pursuing education, if I kept my eyes on the prize, and I want y'all to know, eyes on the prize for me, my marriage, okay, eyes on the prize. And then 5 kids, okay, got to keep my eyes on the prize. And for many of us who are women, and maybe guys, I'm sure guys have it too, but for women, for sure, I know we sacrifice what we might want for ourselves sometimes to make sure that we're helping others get what they need. And I wonder if many of you in the audience right now are doing that. You're sort of in a holding pattern. You're sort of waiting, making sure everybody else has what they need before you start going for what could benefit you. And I have to tell you, it could work in tandem. It could work where we work for ourselves and we do the things that we need to do to benefit ourselves, as well as giving parts of ourselves away to help others. We can do it in tandem. It takes planning, it takes persistence, right? It takes some patience sometimes, but it can be done. So I got my AA degree, and then I got the bachelor's degree, and then I got the master's degree. And I will tell y'all, I'm working on that PhD. And you're like, Daish, PhD, why? What's the point? Don't you have a great job? And I'm like, yes, I have a great job, but I actually want to be in the room where decisions are made. I want to be in the space where thoughts are happening and people are sharing concepts, and I want to share my concepts. And I think one of the ways to do that is to get my PhD. For a lot of us, some ways to get in the room where it happens is to simply gain the skills needed to be on the job. If you know that a system can work better, perhaps you need just a few more skills to be on that job, to get that raise, to get that salary increase, to get the promotion that you know you want. You see the job openings at your company and you're saying to yourself, I could really do that job if I had just that much more skill. So that's why I call it a career accelerator. And I wanted to share my story with you just so that you know that when you believe in yourself and you are persistent and you do not let things stop you or get in the way, you can have the things that you want to have. So that's my story. Let's talk a little bit about careers, y'all. This is what makes me excited, right? So when you do your Indeed job search or whatever website you use for searching for jobs that are available, currently, there are jobs in our community, Sarasota, Manatee, for manufacturing technicians. When I tell you that there are jobs for people who want to work in the manufacturing industry, there's no joke. The jobs may say things like machinist or technician or robotics or data automation, but just put in a plain old manufacturing keyword for Sarasota, Manatee, Charlotte, if you don't mind going down a little bit, St. Pete or Tampa, and the jobs show themselves. But there are some skills that you need in order to show that you can get the job done. As I'm talking about these various careers, I want you to continue to think, what do I like to do? And what am I good at? What are my interests? And then what am I currently doing? What skills am I currently using where I am now that we can align to what the job description is asking for? I do that a lot. I help people a lot align their skills, and the Women's Resource Center does it too, as a matter of fact. They help people align the skills that they currently have to jobs that they want, and then we go about finding out what type of additional education do you need to get that job. System support specialist, the person who likes to fix things. The computer's not working. I can't get to my email. How do I use the printer? Can somebody help me with my Ethernet or my Wi-Fi, or you name it? A system support specialist, an IT specialist, that person helps the end user solve their computer problems, right? An IT tech is what we would normally call that person. Put in IT tech. There are jobs in our community for companies that are looking for IT techs. And the IT techs have to have what? Good customer service. And so there are some customer service manager jobs out there as well. But everybody knows whenever you have an IT problem and you call someone to come and help you, you don't want to be made to feel foolish about your problem. You want someone with good customer service, and you want someone that can communicate well, right? Well, here's what's going on and here's how we can fix it. So many of us have the communication skills. We have the customer service skills, right? We've worked in retail, we've worked in restaurants, we've worked in hospitality. So we have the customer service skills and we have the communication. What we need are the tech skills. So keep thinking about that. A data specialist, you're no nonsense. You don't care about how I feel or what was going on with my emotions today, right? You're just all about the data. And so you're the person that looks at all of the information coming through, and you use your data analytics skills to determine what the trends are, or what's working, what's not working. How can we improve upon this process? How can we be more efficient? So you are a person who really likes efficiency. You like organization. Right now, computers might even intimidate you just a little bit. But by going through programs that are offered, our success coaches help with that. We have people on our team who sort of cheerlead you on to say, don't worry about the intimidation factor now. You'll get there. You'll get there. People talk about, what's that, where we all sort of feel intimidated by things when we're walking into a situation. Everybody has it. So none of us are alone. Administrative assistant, #1 job that's available now, administrative assistant when you look at Indeed.com. But administrative assistants need a lot of tech skills. They have to understand Office 365. They need to understand what's going on with this new Copilot, ChatGPT, AI stuff. What's that all about? And how can I use it on my job? How can I use it to make my job easier for me, to get tasks done faster and hopefully more accurate? If I know how to use the generative AI tool well, it'll help it be a little bit more accurate. So those are some current roles. An additional role is a teacher. I should have put computer science teacher on the current roles list. People may not think about education as being the career path that's in information technology, but I got to tell you guys, we are struggling for computer science teachers. And there are grants and scholarships that are out there to help people get the credentials that they need to be computer science teachers. So that computer science teacher, I think, should have been in the current roles. But moving on, up and coming. Let's say you're one of those early adopters. Let's say you're a person who's like, yes, a new phone is out, I want to try it. Oh my gosh, a new technology, somebody recommended a new app, share the app with me. I want to try that. If you're interested in up and coming roles, then you might consider a cybersecurity specialist role. A cybersecurity specialist has tons of opportunity in our community, but I will tell you those jobs are a little bit harder to get. So the certifications that you're going after are a pathway of certifications, not just one certification or 2 certifications. There's a pathway, especially if you don't have a bachelor's degree. If you have a bachelor's degree, then it might be an easier road to kick down some of those doors. But without a bachelor's degree, there's a pathway for us to consider for those roles. Computer science teacher, same way. Maybe that's why I put it in this column, because there is a pathway, right? You got to get your professional teacher's license, and then you want to pass the computer science test that's given in order to say, yes, I'm a teacher, but I can also teach computer science classes. So that's a pathway. Automation specialist. You're thinking, well, what is that all about, Daesh? Up and coming will be roles that ask people to automate processes so that we can save time and effort. Automating our emails, automating the forms that we receive all the time, automating our household chores, automating our household. And I think we probably all know, right? Like our air conditioning units. So you set your timer on Google Nest or Alexa or whatever you use in your house, and you say, I want my AC to stay off while I'm out of the home, and around 7, 8 o'clock when I'm back home, I want the AC to come back on. I want the thermostat to be monitored. I want my dishwasher to be monitored. I bought a washing machine recently, and the washing machine is also automated. I can tell it when to start. It'll tell me when it finishes. It's creepy, actually, but it's automation, and it's a job that's going to become more and more popular. I did a search on virtual reality on Indeed.com, and there's a link here. I'm hoping this link will still work when you guys get to it. But I did a search on virtual reality tester jobs. There are jobs for people in our community who are willing to test the virtual reality apps to see if they work. And on top of that, there's the machine learning tester. I did a job for AI tester to see what would come up. And there were jobs that came up for people who want to test the various artificial intelligence apps that are being made. So those are some up and coming roles that you might want to be aware of. I tried to put some pictures down here that sort of illustrate women in technology fields or women using technology. And these are real. These are, I mean, these pictures are stock photos, mind you, but the jobs are real. The jobs are real. The woman working in manufacturing, understanding how to use the robotic arm, that's a real job. The lady doing all of the data analytics or the software development, those are real jobs. And just like me, you may be saying to yourself, I don't see myself in that role, Daesh. I honestly can't even envision the pathway to get to those careers. That's what the Advanced Technology Center is all about. How do we use our relationships with industry partners to help you get into a role that you will enjoy and hopefully be able to provide for your family, right? That's the goal. I want to be able to provide for my family and also enjoy what I'm doing. Caveat, is it easy peasy? No. Will there be some topics that are just difficult and hard to understand? Full transparency, y'all. Yes, we all encounter things that are hard and difficult to understand, but they're not impossible. And so when we have persistence and perseverance and we are highly motivated, you will hear me say that a lot, highly motivated, then the goal is to get you where you want to be. You always have to remember, why am I doing what I'm doing? And here are some examples of women who are highly motivated. Some of them came from Manatee County government. Some of them came from CareerSource. Some of them came from working in hospitality or working in, I have a lot of people that are working in the lawn care industry. And they're like, Daesh, I need a change. It's hot and I'm tired, so I need a change. And I was like, well, come on, let's figure out where your interests lie, and what you're passionate about, and what types of career match what you're interested in. So at the end of our industry certification courses, they're typically 8 weeks to 12 weeks to 16 weeks, depending on your pathway. 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks. And at the end of the classes, everybody comes to State College of Florida and we celebrate with pizza and pop is what we call it, pizza and pop celebration. Our classes are often online. And so everybody's sort of at home, online, on their computers, and they only see each other through this little window. But at the end of it, we highly encourage everybody to come on campus and we all celebrate together. And I'm always super proud of the people that finish at the end, and they finish strong. From there, for our boot camp students, we put them in touch with folks who are industry partners who are looking to hire. We want to do more of that for our industry certification completers. Right now, the goal is just to help you get that industry certification and post it on your LinkedIn and put it on your resume and show you how to use those skills, right, in your job now or in your future job. How do I use the skills that I've learned to put myself front and center for a job interview? I want you to get that job interview. We do that for our boot camp students. We want to be able to do that for our industry certification completers. The thing we can do, though, for sure, is offer scholarships. And we're going to talk about the Florida Department of Education's Open Door Scholarship in particular. The scholarship is this: you have to be a Florida resident. You have to be age 18 or over. You have to be unemployed, underemployed, or furloughed. And so many of us are underemployed. And you have to agree to take the industry certification exam. We do our very best to prep you to pass that exam. But if you do not pass it, that does not take away from your scholarship. Your scholarship is for you to get in there, learn a lot of information, take the test and try it. And if you don't pass it on the first shot, no worries. There are retake exams, so you can always take a retake. Some of the retakes will work with you. You know, you have to have some time in between before you can take it again. We're proud of the fact that we are using the Open Door Scholarship. And as a matter of fact, let me give you guys the link. We're going to be going to that Open Door Scholarship in just a moment. The link is it's coding.scf.edu, and I might not be saying this right. So Nervally, can you help me put it in the chat? Coding.scf.edu/training. Is that it? Coding.scf.edu/ no, not /training, /open door. And I'm sorry, y'all, I should have put that on this slide, but I didn't think about it. But Nervaly's going to put it in the chat, and we're going to go there in just a second. The scholarship says that you have to attend class 90% of the time. Online, if it's an online class, or in person, if it's an in-person class, but you have to be there 90% of the time. The scholarship says you have to complete 90% of the curriculum. The curriculum is given, it's part of the scholarship. So the curriculum, the exam voucher, the practice test, all of that is part of the scholarship. So you have to complete the curriculum, you got to attend class, participate. And that, I mean, that sounds Right, right. That's rational. That's logical. The more you participate, the more you work through the curriculum, the better you become at the skill. And that's what industry certifications are all about. They're all about helping you gain competency in a skill. Passing the industry certification allows you to put that on your resume and on your LinkedIn and say, yeah, I passed it. I did the thing. But simply going through the process of gaining the industry certification gives you skills. And that's what we want our students to have. So what I've tried to point out is that our industry certification courses are accessible. They're online. 90% of the time they are online. I firmly believe being in the classroom is a better retention method. Being in the classroom helps with retention, but nonetheless, classes are offered online. They are affordable because there's a scholarship, and they are achievable because we know you can do it. We need you to know you can do it, but we know that you can do it. They are indeed achievable. So this last slide has a QR code on it, and this QR code takes us to the website that I'm about to go to. And this is our training website. This website lists the various classes that we offer. And so I'm about to go to that website to give you guys some examples of the types of industry certifications that we have that qualify for the scholarships. And we're going to talk about what days of the week are they offered? How long are they offered? Are they online or are they in person? Tell us all of that, Daish. So this is for you. So I'm just going to let you guys sort of take a picture of that, scan that QR code, and now I'm going to exit out of this one. And Nervly will share that. She will share all of that with you. Don't look at my desktop. I am a messy, messy little desktop person. All right, let's see. Coding.scf.edu. And we are going to go to the course calendar. So this is our website, training.scf.edu, coding.scf.edu/training. And here are the certification courses. Remember, we talked about cybersecurity. And we talked, oh, yes.
Switch over. You're still on the same slide.
Okay, good, good, good. Thank you for telling me that. Let me try that again. Okay, good. How about now?
Perfect.
Okay, good. All right. So you guys, this is our website, and Nervly will put our link in the chat. Don't look at that link. Our link is coding.scf.edu/cert trainings or whatever, or the QR code, actually, the QR code that you guys had that brings you here. All right, so let's talk about cybersecurity first, just because cybersecurity is going to be a big deal if it's not already a big deal, but getting your foot into the door is a process. So a lot of you may say, well, Daish, I don't know a whole lot about technology. I'm not really sure. I don't have a ton of technology skills. If you are a person who does not have basic, fundamental computer skills, I have to send you to Lifelong Learning and Workforce Development. You're going to work with their team at State College of Florida, Lifelong Learning Workforce Development, to get the fundamental basic computer skills. We got to start there. The classes that we offer at State College of Florida Advanced Technology Center are more advanced, right? Because we're trying to get jobs. We're trying to prepare people to get the jobs. So the Tech Plus class would probably be a class that I think someone could take if they had fundamental skills, but now they're trying to bump it up a level. So this is our most fundamental technology class that would be for beginners. And that one's going to take place starting in June, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on Mondays. And it's going to go on for roughly 2 months. And so that is a tech specialist. I have some skills. I don't have a ton, but it'll take you up to the level where you can at least prepare to become what I call an IT tech, a system support specialist, somebody that helps other people get their issues fixed as far as technology goes on the job. You might be the person who's in the office And yes, you're the administrative assistant, but because you have the Tech Plus, you're also the person that people call to help fix their problems. And you're like, well, Daisha, I already do that now. And nobody's giving me a raise. Nobody's giving me a promotion. Well, maybe an industry certification might help accelerate the process by saying, look, I took the initiative. I went out, I got this cert, and I want you to know what my goals are. And I'd like to have my goals here. I'd like to meet my goals right where I am in my current position. But if that's not possible, I'd like for you to help me figure out how I can meet my goals. You're going to communicate with your supervisor or your employer where you are. If you're planning on leaving that job, that's a different story. Talk to me about that later. But if you want to accelerate within the job, industry certifications can help. Network specialist. This is an industry certification for someone that wants to be the network administrator, for someone that wants to add the computers to the list, that wants to oversee the Microsoft ecosystem, that's interested in making sure that there is some network safety, but not necessarily full-blown cybersecurity. This entire pathway, oh, and notice those are Tuesday, Thursday, 6:30 to 9:30. It's going to start in the fall, and those will be evening classes. Scholarships apply. So where it says open door scholarship eligible, that's how you know that you can use a scholarship for this course. WIOA scholarship eligible. WIOA has a few different requirements, but you could use WIOA for this as well. And we do offer the WIOA scholarship as well. Cybersecurity tech, it's a big one. It gets folks in the door. And if you don't have the cybersecurity tech Security Plus, then you would want to get that because that's the one that helps folks. Data Plus is for our data analytics. And notice we have the times and we have the dates. So this data analytics Data Plus will also take place on Mondays from 9 to noon. And it's both in person and online. So notice here at the top of our website, it says some of these are purely online. Security Plus, purely online. But others, you can come to the classroom and take the classes. Let's talk about AWS, cloud specialist, someone that understands that everything we're doing now pretty much is in the cloud. We're running a lot of apps in the cloud. We have our data stored in the cloud. We are communicating from various locations, because your company might not just have one location. They may have multiple locations and everybody's communicating through the cloud. So understanding what that is from an AWS, Amazon Web Services point of view is very helpful. These classes start in March. So the ones on this row, you guys, March, UX, UI, you're interested in designing a website. Maybe you want to design a website for your company or for your own company, or you might want to be the person that people come to and say, hey, can you design a website for me? Entrepreneurial thinking, right? Maybe we're not the one that wants the 8 to 5 job. You may very well be the person that wants to take your skills and help someone else as an entrepreneur. So UX UI is all about learning HTML, CSS, which is a coding language for making websites. It starts in March. It's Tuesday, Thursdays, 6:30 to 9:30. It's both in person and online. I highly recommend that one. Python, you've never coded before. You don't even know what it means to be a programmer. You got some good computer skills. You can navigate, right? You understand keyboard, mouse, Windows, all of that, but you've never coded. This is a great class to start to get your coding skills done. Again, it starts in March, Monday, Wednesday, 6:30 to 9:30, scholarship accessible. And then here's the one I'm most proud of, the AWS AI Specialist. This is a new program for us. The WIOA scholarship is what you would ask me about if you wanted to take this class. WIOA, it's going to be Monday, Wednesdays from 6:30 to 9:30. And as I mentioned, we do have WIOA funds for the AWS AI Specialist. This is the job for a person who wants to effectively demonstrate that they understand what artificial intelligence is, what machine learning is, how we're using, especially if your company uses AWS, how AWS can be used for specific AI problems to solve. It would be an AI specialist job. And regardless of whether it's AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google's database, the AI principles are the same. So knowing the AI principles helps prepare you for that automation job, which may not exist yet, y'all. It may not exist yet, but it's one of those up and coming. up and coming. It's one of those you don't want to be left behind type of jobs. But don't worry, that's not the only AI class that we have. If you do have some coding skills, or if you are comfortable with understanding computer science, then the coding and AI specialist is an open door certification. It's being held on Tuesday, Thursday, starting in March from 6:30 to 9:30. It's in person and online. So the way the instructor typically does it is he comes one day in person for anybody that just wants to be in person to see his face and see what's happening. And then there's the other day where he's just online, but of course he's always online, right? We call it a hybrid class. So he's always online, but we're excited about the coding and AI specialist job because we know that for the person who perhaps wants to get into coding and understand how AI is playing a role in that, this class can help you. I would not suggest this class, the coding and AI specialist, without the Python class. So you would probably, if you've never coded before, you would do Python in March, and then in June, you would do your coding and AI class. So Python first and then coding. JavaScript, same thing. If you're interested in being a web developer, if you've never been a web developer before, y'all, I start you off with UX, UI, HTML, CSS to learn about web pages, and then you take the JavaScript class if you want to be a developer. Or if you don't want to be a developer, but you do want to help people maintain their web pages, WordPress editor. We got a phone call from one of our industry partners just last week saying, Daesh, we need somebody to help a client with their WordPress website. Who do you have? And we get those types of calls all the time. We get calls from people who say, I need help with my website, or I need somebody to make an app for me. Or do you have someone that understands information technology that can come support my people on the job? I think we even have people on the call right now who have gotten jobs because they've been a part of State College of Florida and the Advanced Technology Center. SQL, the SQL Programmer is also a new course for us that we're really excited about. You're a database analyst. You're somebody that's already working with Excel spreadsheets, or you're already working with databases, but you don't have a certification to show that you know what you know. A certification is a career accelerator. So you may want to pursue that. And then it goes on. The rest of these are more like manufacturing jobs. So PLCs, understanding electricity, electronics, and programmable logic computers. If you don't know what any of that means, do not worry. We have a class coming in the fall for that. Microsoft Copilot and Power Platform. I will be teaching this class. It's coming soon. It will be posted pretty soon. It's going to be self-paced, meaning that you sort of do the work on your own, but I am also there as the instructor. And then the Cisco Network Associate. If you're really, really serious about becoming a network administrator, look that up on Indeed if you don't know what that is. If you want to be a network administrator, having your Cisco CCNA is the way to go. Finally, before I move on to how you apply for the scholarship, the commercial drone pilot. It's for those of you who might be photographers or videographers, or you love taking pictures and you're the one always capturing the family moments. Well, guess what? People pay to have someone capture those big events. They need a commercial drone pilot to bring the drone into the area, get all the permissions, get all of the approvals, and then bring the drone and capture the moment, and then consolidate that video, edit that video, and produce a product to the customer that they can share. They can have memories. They can keep it for years and years to come. So I've hired drone pilots to come and capture footage of my events. It is well worth it, especially if it's for a marketing opportunity, because being able to put the drone footage on the website, or put the drone footage on LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. I don't use TikTok, but let's say TikTok. That's something that not everyone can do for themselves. And so when you bring that skill to someone to say, you're a realtor. Hey, realtor, guess what? I can capture the footage of the community or the neighborhood. You know, an event planner. Hey, event planner, you want to partner together so that I can capture the footage and maybe your client wants to purchase that footage. So I think the commercial drone pilot one is really good. It takes place the fourth Saturday of every month. It's one day. It's from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. But notice, It's $299. Are there no prices on this website? Okay, that's another website I have to show you. But this commercial drone pilot class is $299. It's one Saturday, does not include the voucher. So you got to pay for your own voucher. But I think the opportunities for revenue generation are huge. So those are our classes. You guys got the QR code for that. Let's look at the scholarship page. Coding.scf.edu/open door. Open Door is the scholarship I want to tell you about today. Remember, we said that there are some regulations around this scholarship from the Florida Department of Education. You have to be a Florida resident. You have to be 18 or older. You have to be underemployed, unemployed, or furloughed. If you're unsure about what it means to be underemployed, we have a living wage calculator right here to help you. Even if you're fully employed, you can still be underpaid based on the living wage calculator. You agree that you're going to complete the identified industry certification exam, and the open door funds are used to cover tuition for the SCF Coding Academy courses that are listed on this page. Now, this page is going to be updated to include the AI and the SQL classes that we talked about, to include the PMMI manufacturing certifications that we talked about. It will have all of the courses there. And if you're unsure about which one to pick, that's when you give us a call and say, Daisha, I'm really not sure. I'm not sure which way I should go. That's where we are here to help you and provide that guidance. Again, Women's Resource Center is also a reference to help you give guidance, to help give you guidance, as well as CareerSource. CareerSource Suncoast does a fantastic job of helping to give guidance to people who are wondering which pathway they should choose. Once you know your pathway, then you're signing up for your scholarship. Notice there's nothing that says, please tell me how much money you make, or please tell me how many people are in your household. Nope. The Florida Department of Education does not require that. It's simply first name, last name, street address, where do you live, because you have to be a Florida resident. We ask for your date of birth, because you have to be over 18. We ask to be able to get in touch with you, right? Your gender and your race, we ask for that just for purposes of data. We may not be asking those questions in the future. This form might change, so we'll see about that. And then there are just a few questions that we are hoping to gather. We want to know, have you been to State College of Florida before? Are you a resident? We got to know that. What's your employment status? Even if you say fully employed, we still say check the MIT living wage calculator just to be sure. You submit this, and then you get a notice that says if you're eligible or ineligible right there on the spot. Once you submit it, you will know if you're eligible for the scholarship, and the scholarship pays the full tuition for the courses. It gives you your exam voucher, it gives you your practice test. You're not paying anything at all for the courses that are identified, right? Our WordPress, Python, JavaScript, CompTIA Security Plus, all the CompTIA courses that we listed, they all qualify for the scholarship. So you don't pay anything. What am I asking from you though? What I am asking is for dedication and persistence, and don't give up and don't stop. Once you have your scholarship, we'll give you a discount code, and you're going to come to the website, and we have the link for this one inside. Nervally, can you put this link? It's for registration inside the chat. And you're going to sign up for your AWS AI practitioner. You're like, yes, I want to know how to use AI, and I really want to know how to use AI with a system like AWS, Amazon Web Services. Like, what does that mean exactly? I want to be in the know. The course is $3,250, but you're not paying that. You're like, well, Daisha, shucks, I really do. I don't know if I qualify for the scholarship. Then the next question is to ask your employer. Go to HR and say, hey, HR, do we have any tuition reimbursement? Are there any tuition reimbursement programs if I don't qualify for the scholarship? But apply for the scholarship and see just see if you're eligible or not, because more than likely you are. And that's what the scholarship covers, is this fee. Dakota and Allison, all of our instructors are in the field. They're working with this stuff day to day. In fact, Allison works for State College of Florida in the IT department. And then at night, she teaches for me. But Allison is a JavaScript developer. So she knows exactly what she's teaching and exactly what you should know. Same thing for Daryl Bagley. He is the director of IT at his job. And so he does know exactly what it takes to be a Python coding specialist. And his students, he has a 90% pass rate. Allison has a 100% pass rate. Python, a 90% pass rate. Melissa has a 100% pass rate for her WordPress. Melissa is an entrepreneur, data graphics. She's a teacher. She's an adjunct. She does all the things. Melissa knows how to help you earn your WordPress certification. And more than just that, Melissa knows how to help you make your own WordPress webpage so that you can have those skills for yourself or for others, depending on how you use it. So anyway, this is what you do. You gotta make sure you have an account. So if you don't already have an account, you're gonna create an account. And once you create an account, you're gonna come on over here to Advanced Technology Center. And then you're going to add your course to the cart and use the discount code that we're giving you. And so most of the classes that are taking place either in the summer, like the Security Plus, or in March, are listed on this site. And the only thing you need is the code. And we're adding more and more classes. Like for instance, you don't see the Data Plus on here. The Data Plus is the course that'll take place from 9 to noon on a Monday, starting in the summer, starting in June. We're gonna add the Data Plus to this site so that you can take that class. If you're doing anything with Excel or databases, I highly recommend the Data Plus class. So those are the 3 websites I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you our site where we talk about all the classes that we offer. That's our training site. And then I wanted to show you the scholarship site. And then once you have your discount code, I wanted to show you how you go to the training site to actually register for the classes using your discount code. I think it's an amazing opportunity. If someone had told me, Daish, you can get some more skills that are accessible and affordable and achievable, I would hop on it. And yes, I know we have other family commitments. We have other commitments. I get it. But sometimes you got to put yourself first and you got to believe. Nervally, I'm ready to answer questions.
All right, perfect. So we're going to open up the floor to any questions that you might have. Again, you can use the Q&A box located at the bottom of your screen to go ahead and ask those questions. First one that we have states, I feel like it's a little bit more about networking as well. I've applied for jobs and I haven't gotten it, even though I'm experienced. However, I've seen people that I know within the organization that have gotten jobs. How do we network with companies hiring for IT jobs?
LinkedIn would be my first choice. If you're doing it on your own, not trying to promote myself, but I have some relationships. And so when you're in our boot camps, especially, I didn't talk too much about boot camps today, but if you are in our programs, we do introduce you to some of those companies that either are hiring or they introduce you to other people who are hiring. So you're right, networking is key, but you can't network unless you have industry certification. So I'm going to start with getting the skills, and then we can talk more about networking. LinkedIn, and not just having a profile on LinkedIn. Let me pause there for a second. You know what? Let me see if I can share my screen again. Which one are we going to share? I guess we'll share this one. This is the one I'm on right now, right? Okay. Am I showing a LinkedIn screen?
Yes.
Okay. So number 1, LinkedIn. Picture, clear, bright, beautiful, right? And then me, bold enough to say that I'm a keynote panel speaker for something coming up. I ain't even tell nobody what it is. What she's speaking for, don't matter. I'm a speaker. Call me, right? And then who am I? I'm Daishwana. Can people pronounce Daishwana? Probably not. Just call me Daish, right? Call me Daish. That's easy. That's approachable. That's simple. And then who am I? What do I do? All the things, as many characters as they will give me, I'm putting all the characters into who I am. And then going on from there, it's an about. Now, nobody will get past this first, and when it says read more, nobody's clicking. I promise you, nobody's clicking, but the search engine optimization does click. The search engine optimization, when somebody says, I'm looking for someone who can. So when there are searches on this LinkedIn site, this little search button right here, the search engine optimization takes over to look at all of the stuff that I'm doing. None of y'all are going to read it because none of us have time to click more, but my name will come up in the search when somebody says that they're looking for something. And this is my place to brag, right? I won't brag like this in front of people in real life. That's crazy. But on LinkedIn, I get to brag about myself as much as I want to. So take advantage of that. Then you have this featured section. And the featured section talks about, for me, I pretty much use my LinkedIn for State College of Florida. So I'm just talking about the different things that we have going on, and look, some more boot camp, some industry certification people, right? So I'm just talking about the stuff that's happening. And then when I start talking about my posts are professional. My posts, I always tell people, coders code, singers sing, writers write, artists do their art. If you want to be a network administrator, you're talking about network administration. If you want to be a data analyst, you're talking about data analytics. You are following people who are also talking about the stuff that you want to know about. So if I want a job using AI, then I'm looking at this health equity company because they're looking for an intern that does AI and innovation, and it's a remote job. Then I'm like, okay, who is health equity? And am I connected to anybody on the health equity team? And then, of course, it's like, here, all of the AI jobs, Dash, that you might possibly be interested in. Well, that's fine and good. But I'm not really, I want to know about the company. Because for health equity, they may know somebody that I know. Oh, Trinette. I do know Trinette. Trinette and I used to work together. So I'm reaching out to Trinette. And I'm like, hey, Trinette, this is Dash. And we work together at blah, blah, blah. And Trinette's like, oh yeah, Dash, how's it going? I was like, well, I see that health equity is hiring. And I was just wondering, see everything that says first, 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 first. All of these people are getting an email from me if I want to work at health equity. If I have their email address, great, from back in the day. But if not, they're getting a message from me saying, there's a job at health equity with AI and automation. And I was just wondering. So that's LinkedIn. And that's how I use LinkedIn a lot. I use it a lot. And I use it for myself as well as using it for my students to make sure my students also know how to go about doing this stuff. I look at my notifications. Don Borden Jr. Y'all, I will mention Don. He's president of Four Winds IT. I think Nikki, one of his employees, is on the LinkedIn, is on our webinar right now. Nikki got her job with Don Borden. But Don Borden is like, yeah, he's connecting, he's talking. I'm going to respond to Don. I'm not going to let this go unnoticed. If Don likes something that I've posted, I'm going to thank him for liking it. And then I'm going to start my own new conversations, just making sure that I am in the community. Your big deal is to be on LinkedIn and try to be in the community. But beyond that, beyond LinkedIn, there is this group called Sarasota Tech. Yes, literally, Sarasota Tech, Sarasota.tech. And what Sarasota.tech does is they have all of these various March jams. Literally, Dash Bagley right now is trying to get the March jam to be at State College of Florida on March 20th. It says to be announced. I'm like, y'all got a spot? Y'all need to come. Y'all need to come do something with Dash and the Advanced Technology Center. We don't mind hosting, but wherever they host, you want to be there. You want to be amongst all of these people in Sarasota who are talking about, can Sarasota become a tech town? And the answer is yes, we truly believe it can. Roe Brady is another good company that helps us. S1, another industry partner. We love all of these people, but let's say I didn't know somebody from Rev Content. I'm going to reach out to Rev Content and say, hi, I see you guys are associated with Sarasota Tech. I'd love to meet with someone and discuss what your relationship is with our community, because I am not shy. When it comes to making community networking, I'm not shy. And you're right, you got to do it. But before you can really do it, you got to have some skills, and you want to have your industry certification to say you have those skills. So, okay, Nerva, that's my thoughts about that.
Okay, perfect. And just to kind of continue on that train of thought, the next question is, does SCF help placing students with jobs?
SCF does. SCF, State College of Florida, on the 4-credit side, has what's called a career accelerator. That's on the 4-credit side. I don't even know if they have yeah, there she is, Anita Knox. So if you are a State College of Florida person and you're interested, Anita Knotts is the director of the Career Accelerator, and she helps people place with job placement. For the non-credit side, the Advanced Technology Center, we do help with that for our boot camp students.
Okay, perfect. Now, with that in mind, which are the 5 top jobs that would have the best income structure?
Well, for sure, you want to think about what you're good at and what you like. Because no matter how much they pay you, if you are miserable, you are not going to want to go to work. That's number one. But then number two, if you're doing things like, if you're looking at LinkedIn and looking for jobs, looking for jobs in Sarasota, that's weird. It's like they don't think I've ever been here before. If you're looking for jobs, you can do some research on that. Manufacturing in our community is huge. When I say, and you know, I typically don't look at how much they're going to pay me. I look at what is the job and where do I start? And then what do I need to move up? So I started at Hillsborough Community College and I started in a manager type role. Well, first, y'all know I started a business, right? I started a business first before I ever got hired anywhere because I was a stay-at-home mom. So I was a stay-at-home mom. I started my own business. But from starting that business, I got hired by HCC and it was an okay role. But then I kept thinking, where do I go from there? And what skills do I need? And do I need another degree? Or what do I need to go higher and higher? So I love my job now. I'm executive director, but would I love to be dean? Would I love to be VP? Well, absolutely. So what do I need to go higher and higher? You're going to have to do a search on how much jobs cost. I typically look at frequency of jobs because if there are frequency of jobs, that's the job I want to go for. And then I get some more experience and then I can go for the next job. But that's just me.
Okay, perfect. The next question that we have is, can the scholarships be used for more than one certification if they're needing 2 to pair together?
Yes. Yes. You can apply for multiple scholarships as long as they are different programs. Yes, absolutely. You can take the AWS AI practitioner on Monday, Wednesday, while you may be also looking at AWS cloud practitioner on Tuesday, Thursday. And you can have 2 scholarships. Yes.
Perfect. So with that in mind, are they having to apply to the scholarships twice?
Yes.
Okay. And how long are the codes good for? So if they are awarded a scholarship, what's the time frame for them to select a class?
Up until the start date of that course.
Okay.
So, you know.
And then the next question we have is, will the scholarship cover the cost of books if needed?
It covers our curriculum. So yes, will not cover laptop, will not cover mileage, won't cover any of that, but it covers the curriculum. And our curriculum is a knowledge-based platform. So all of the data is on the platform.
And then just to go back to that very first question on the top incoming jobs, as far as that goes, I think they're looking for which of your programs would you rate top 5 for the highest earning income.
Okay, so I'm gonna go back to that PowerPoint. Anything having to do with IT technology is a top one in my book. So okay, I got them a little switched around. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen, but nonetheless, anything in manufacturing is going to be a top frequency job, and you will probably start off at about $22 an hour, but then you have to work your way up. Anything in cybersecurity, if you can get your foot in the door, it's that whole CompTIA path, CompTIA data, Tech Plus, Network Plus, Security Plus. You're in that one. We feel pretty good. And especially if you can get a background check and get your, what's that called, Nervally, where you have to get your security.
Oh, clearance.
Clearance. If you can get your security clearance, even better. Computer science teacher is a no-brainer. Computer science teachers start out at about $57,000 a year. And then if you like teaching, good, you stay with it. If you don't like it, you can find some consulting work or other work to do. Data specialist, really good jobs, especially if you enjoy data analytics. Administrative assistant jobs are frequent. Like there are so many administrative assistant jobs. Maybe they start you off at $15 to $17 an hour. So it's not much, right? You're like, shoot, Daisha, I can't make a living off of $15, $17 an hour. Right. But then we're trying to move up. We're trying to go higher and higher. So we keep increasing our skills. So now we got the administrative assistant skill level. Now we're going to move up to a manager skill level. And now we're going to move up to here. And so the job that you're in, the job you're doing doesn't necessarily have to be all that you do. So what would I promote? Manufacturing, cybersecurity, computer science. What's sort of dropping, unless you're going to be an entrepreneur, web design, HTML, CSS, and software developer. I say that only because I haven't seen a lot of those jobs posted, but I still do get phone calls for people who want somebody to manage their website. HTML, CSS, WordPress, and JavaScript. That's the pathway. That's like a software developer pathway. If you're looking for a software developer job and you see them listed, then go for it. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, WordPress. That's the pathway for that. But I like manufacturing. I like cybersecurity. I like the idea of being a computer science teacher. Those might not be the most frequent. The ones that are more frequent are like the administrative assistant, system support specialist. That's a frequent job. IT specialist is a frequent job. You're like, well, how much does it pay? Well, probably starting at 17, going on up to 22, 17 to 22, which I don't consider to be a lot of money, that you are underemployed if that's what you're making. We kind of need you at 25 and up is where I want you to be. But if you can make it on $17 an hour, then we can help you get there with administrative assistant, customer service, and system support specialist.
Okay. Just to share with the group, another really great networking group, one of our participants wanted to share was Women in Tech.
Online or physical meetups?
Waiting for a response. The other question while we wait for that response is, how do they apply for the WIOA scholarship?
Yes, they need to come see me for the WIOA scholarship. WIOA has some other funding type of requirements that, other salary level type of requirements that we need to look at. Please, if we could put my email address in the chat, bagleyd@scf.edu. I have $100,000 worth of WIOA scholarships that I need to give out. So if you think, Daisha, your classes are $3,250, and how much do you have in WIOA? About $100,000. So that puts me at about what? 30 students maybe that I can give WIOA scholarships to, and I'm happy to do it. I want to spend that WIOA money. It's a longer process. We talk to you about the job. We try to help you find the job. Then we have to follow up with you at the 6 month, the 1 year, the, 15 months. And we follow up with you. So it's a process. It's not as quick and easy like Open Door Scholarship, but the monies are there.
Okay, perfect. And just to get back to Women in Tech, it is a global networking group, but they do have local chapters as well.
Excellent. If they'd like to come and meet at the State College of Florida in the Advanced Technology Center, please come.
Next question that we have in mind is, which certification would be best for someone wanting to explore being a manufacturing technician?
Oh, yes. All right, so that is such a great question. And this is a new program that we are starting now. I think Liz might be on the call. scf.edu. Coding, sorry. Liz might be on the call. And what we're starting is, it's called PMMI, and it's packaging. So packaging involves all of the robotic arms that you sort of see around. And we are going to start our PMMI with PLCs. And PLCs are like the introduction to robotics. It's called mechatronics, but don't let that scare you off. It's electrical first. So like introduction to electricity, industrial electricity 1, industrial electricity 2, perhaps depending on how much interest we have. But then we go to the programmable logic computers, and we're ordering all of the equipment to be here at State College of Florida. So the way the course works is we're going to have like an open lab time. You'll have your curriculum, you'll have your instructor. His name is Jeffrey Shine. Jeffrey works in this industry right now. And so Jeffrey is putting together our curriculum, and he's telling us what kind of equipment we should purchase. And our industry partners are saying, yes, 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 do it, do the thing, do the thing. If you cannot wait for us, I will tell you that Manatee Technical College, MTC does this now. They do this program, but theirs is a little bit longer than what we are anticipating. Advanced Technology Center, we like to be fast, right? And flexible and loose. So we're going to have online open lab, and we're going to start that in the fall. And so if you are interested in that manufacturing technician, because I personally think it's a top rate job, please send me an email. Send me an email, because we're ready. We're ready to offer that. PMMI Mechatronics. It's for manufacturing technicians, automation, all that good stuff.
Perfect. So the next one, they have a background in cybersecurity for a little over 2.5 months, as well as a ton of information as well in managing cybersecurity, but they're wanting to know what else would they need in addition to that to stop against phishing emails, scammers, anything along that side.
Okay, tell me that again.
So their background is in cybersecurity.
Mhm.
And so they have that certification, but they're wanting to know, is there a better program or additional certification to get to then be able to combat against scammers or phishing emails or people that are impersonating financial officers to try and get information off the web?
I'm going to recommend KnowBe4. KnowBe4 is located right there in Sarasota, in St. Petersburg. Yikes, in St. Petersburg. And KnowBe4 has products. Not only do they have products, they also have training. But I'm going to recommend KnowBe4, because KnowBe4 might have more information about how to stop those types of things from happening. I know every college has their own way of trying. I say college, every business, right? So Microsoft has its own system, Google has its system, AWS has its system. KnowBe4 might know of some consumer products that can help with the phishing and the scamming. It's getting worse, and I feel really scared for the older adults. I just feel scared. My mom, she keeps sending me links. The most recent one was, they said I owe some money for my Uber, and I thought I paid my Uber bill, but now they're telling me I need to pay Uber again because my credit card didn't go through. Mom, do not click that link. Nobody's asking you for Uber money. That's not the way that works. Do not click any links. It's scary. They're very sophisticated. I keep getting messages telling me that I haven't paid my tolls on my cell phone. Nonetheless, I keep getting emails on my cell phone saying you owe some toll money. Please pay your tolls. And I'm like, no, that's phishing. How do I stop that? I keep blocking the number, but they come up with another number. So I'm with you. If you come up with a solution, please let me know. I don't have one. I would think KnowBe4 might know.
Okay. What certification would you suggest for a single mother who's wanting to get into the tech field?
What are your interests? What do you like? And what are your skills already? Send me an email. We can talk about that. First thing right off the bat is going to be computer science teacher, because you can be in school with your kids. But I don't know if you like kids in the classroom or not. So send me an email. That's a good one.
Okay, perfect. And then the last one's just wanting to say thank you for the information. You've been a real gold mine, and I love your enthusiasm. So they're just wanting to say thank you.
Add that to the survey that you're going to take in a few minutes so that Beverly can invite me back.
Yes, perfect. All right. So, well, this does conclude our career connection for this month. We went a little over time, but that's fine. It was very interesting and a lot to learn, of course. As I mentioned, if you would just stay on for an additional minute, there will be a survey that will appear on your screen. Feedback is definitely invaluable. It will help us better understand what we can better do to improve our webinars as well as our programming. But for everyone who did join us for today, I'd like to say thank you. Daesh, I'd like to say thank you. It was very informative and had a great time. So thank you for joining us today in our Career Connection, and everybody have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.